Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Recovery Classroom. My name is Drew. I am an alcoholic, and today I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I cannot be any more grateful. We were in a Saturday morning meeting this past Saturday, and we were having a spirited debate. We were all sat in front, and this girl leaned over. She said, "You guys would make a great TV show, a great sitcom." And I started laughing, and because we were doing things the way it should be done. We were talking about our disagreements. We were talking about things we disagreed upon, and we were doing it respectfully, and we were learning from each other. We were explaining ideas and explaining thought processes. And I started thinking about it all weekend. I deal with people whenever I'm working with people I sponsor or just have general conversations, but I always hear people say, well, so-and-so pissed me off, or so-and-so said this, or so-and-so did that. I think back to what I learned in the rooms is that, one, I can't control what other people do, say, and think. And I'm thankful that I can't do that. Today, I'm grateful that I can't do that. I struggled to control what I do, say, or think now that I'm sober. I thank God I don't have to carry around that responsibility for other people. But two, whenever somebody says something that I get upset about, the first person I need to look at is this guy right here. For every finger I'm pointing, there's three fingers pointing back, right? So there may be some truth in what they're saying. So those are, by default, those first things I do whenever I disagree with somebody, especially if I get upset. Is I realize, we're all human beings. We are all human beings. We all have different ideas, opinions, viewpoints, perspectives. We're all different. We say it all the time that, everybody recovers differently. Well, that's because everybody's different. So I'm always cognizant that everybody has a different idea, perspective, viewpoint, and opinion, and I can't control it. And I'm glad I can't control it, right? I'm glad I can't control it. But I think what happens is sometimes people will get in a disagreement, and that's what we're talking about, disagreement. Somebody have a disagreement, then they get upset, and then they start dwelling on it, and they start going about it the wrong way. And I want to dive into that just a touch bit deeper. See, at the end of the day, that's what we're talking about is disagreements. You might disagree with something. Johnny says something about me that pisses me off. I obviously disagree with him. Johnny does something that upsets me and bothers me. I obviously disagree with the actions that he took. I wouldn't take those actions. We're talking about disagreements here. That's what we're talking about. So I think when we're talking about disagreements, when we have an opportunity to disagree with somebody, I think we're missing an opportunity to strengthen our spiritual mindset. And that's what fascinates me is how can we miss out on this great opportunity? I mean, what better way could we possibly have than to practice strengthening our spiritual mindset than in a room full of drunks and drug addicts, right? I mean, I remember thinking back when, I thought that a room full of drunks and drug addicts always got along. I thought people in recovery rooms, they loved each other, and they sat on conference calls all night long, just talking, just shooting shit. Thought this was High School Musical. We're all in this together. Zac Efron bullshit. Imagine my surprise when I realized that drunks and drug addicts can hardly agree on anything. Hell, I'd argue with myself. So we're talking about disagreements here, right? And what better place to exercise and practice dealing with real world examples than working through disagreements with people who profess the same code that I try to live by, love and tolerance, right? People who are trying to practice the same principles that I'm trying to practice. A room full of drunks and drug addicts, right? So it's okay to disagree, but here's what I want to dive into. I want to talk about that opportunity. What opportunity are you talking about, Drew? I'm missing an opportunity. Well, here's why. First and foremost, let's be cognizant. When somebody says they disagree with you, don't take offense to it. Hell, get excited. Because more often than not, people, they won't say anything. They'll just disagree with you, won't say anything, and then they'll go off and talk shit about you. When somebody says, hey, I don't necessarily agree with that. Okay, let's talk about that. The fact that they're willing to talk to you about that, that's huge. That's huge because nowadays, a lot of people just don't even talk about their disagreements at all. They bottle that shit up, go off to the side and blow up about you, and then it just makes things worse. So if somebody's willing to talk to you about a disagreement, be excited. Again, that's another opportunity for you to exercise and grow your spiritual mindset. Then the second thing, keep this in mind too. Whenever I disagree with somebody, and I'll ask questions. We'll talk about that. I'll ask questions. I'm not asking questions to be a dick. I'm asking questions to learn. I want to grow. They may know something that I don't. Oh, see, there's that pride and ego thing. That's why I ask questions. I'm not asking questions to be a dick, to challenge him. If they disagree with me, and I've clearly explained my perspective, and they disagree with my perspective, well, then I want to know what it is that they know, because they may know something that I don't. And isn't that just going to make me better? So one, just the fact that people are willing to talk to me about what we disagree on, I get excited about that. Because two, it's an opportunity for me to learn something that I may not know. And it's an opportunity for me to swallow my pride and bat down that ego and say, you know what, Drew, you're not the smartest motherfucker in the world. See? And then the third thing is, again, this allows me an opportunity, if I'm working with people, especially disagreeing with people inside the rooms of recovery who do understand me, it allows me to strengthen my muscles for real world applications. So I practice with people inside of the rooms and disagreeing with people inside of the rooms. So whenever I deal with people outside of the rooms, well, hell, I'm ready to go. It's kind of like I go to the gym to lift weights. I go inside a controlled environment to exercise and strengthen my muscles so I can go out in the real world and chop firewood, which I've been doing all weekend. And that's another way I look at it. So I think we're missing an opportunity. When we disagree with people, we automatically get pissed off and shut them down, try to shut them down. And I don't think that's the right thing to do at all. When I disagree with people, I want to know why. Because it gives me a chance to grow and get stronger. So how do we disagree with people? One, for me personally, I use questions. My friends will tell you I will ask a shit ton of questions, and I do, because it's a two-pronged approach. When I ask questions to somebody that I disagree with, well, instead of me trying to make these declarative statements, and they get this idea that I'm attacking them or I'm trying to change their mind, it takes that all, it strips that away. And they see that, okay, he's not saying these things, he's asking these things. And that puts it on a different perspective. It makes it look to them, it makes it look a lot less like I'm attacking them and I'm trying to convince them of something. No. So it keeps it on a neutral setting rather than me just saying, well, this is da-da-da-da-da-da. There's no declarers there. It's more questions. And then two, and this is important too, by asking questions, it gives me the out. It gives me the escape hatch. Because what happens if, well, they provide me a piece of information while we're talking. They provide me a piece of information I didn't know about. I can say, oh, well, shit, that makes sense. I didn't know. Another thing you want to do is you want to listen to understand rather than listening to respond. I see that in politics especially. People don't want to listen to understand. They just want to listen to respond. It's critically important for us, and whenever we're trying to talk through disagreements with people, it's critically important we listen to understand, again, we're listening to learn rather than listening to just respond. And the last thing I want to share with you is know when to disengage, know when to change topics, and know when to walk away. There's been many conversations where, okay, I feel like it's getting out of hand. Maybe I'm getting a little upset and I need to take a break. Maybe I can see that they're visibly getting upset. We probably just need to change topics. And it's okay to look at them and say, okay, so how about the weather? Or how about Michigan and OSU? How about this? How about that? It's okay to do that. And it's okay to get up and say, hey, look, I need to take a minute. I'm going to go use the restroom or whatever. You got to learn when to disengage. So those are the three ways I try to practice, how to handle disagreements, because I think it only strengthens my spiritual growth, and it helps other people strengthen their spiritual growth as well. So I want to encourage you today, use questions. It takes away that idea in their mind that they're attacking you for just asking questions. It gives you an escape hatch. It gives you an opportunity to learn something new. Listen to understand rather than listen to respond. And then always be aware of when it's time to disengage, change the topic, or simply walk away. So I want to thank you guys for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. You guys absolutely keep me sober, and I cannot be any more appreciative. If there's a topic you'd like to hear discussed, let me know. Email it to me, Drew, DREW, at recoveryclassroom.org. We'll take a look, see what we can do. We'll be talking again soon. Remember, guys, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.